it's Madison. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about the importance of having a creative workspace that's your own. And I want to talk about this today because ever since quarantine started, I've really been spending a lot more time in my office, and I've really been focusing on decorating it and organizing it and just making it a space that is calm, comfortable, and just an ideal space for me to be creative in and get work done. And ever since I've started working more in my office, I've really noticed a change in the quality of my work, how many more ideas I'm having, and how quickly I'm able to finish projects. So I wanted to kind of pass along some advice on how having your own creative workspace can really benefit you, and also offer some tips on how you can kind of create your own workspace or find one out in your own community. And I'm going to show you around my office, kind of just show you how I decorated things, and hopefully that can help give you some more ideas on how to go about building your own creative workspace. So the first thing we're going to talk about is how you can go about finding a space, maybe in your home, that you can build up to be your creative workspace. The first and most obvious is having like a home office like I do. If you have an empty room in your house that no one else is using, you can use that to build up an office for yourself. You can put a desk in there, a computer, maybe put up some like inspiration boards, whatever you need to kind of get the creative juices going, and that's a really good start. So if you already have an empty room available, perfect, you're good to go. Just start building it up from there. If you don't have an extra room, that's fine too. Maybe you have like a lot of siblings or a lot of roommates and you just don't have an extra room available. You just have to get a little bit more creative. You can maybe use the garage or the basement if you have that in your house. And that might be better for people who are interested in like sculpting or painting, so that way you don't have to worry about like getting anything dirty in the garage. So that's an option. You can even go Harry Potter style. If you have like a big closet somewhere, you can kind of build that up to be your own little work environment, but it has to be a big closet, okay? Don't try to stuff yourself into a tiny closet space because people might look at you like you're crazy, but if it's big enough, you can make that work. Heck, even, look, I have the book here, Stephen King. In this book, he talks about how he wrote his first 2 novels in a laundry room. A laundry room. Now, I don't know how that works, but if you have a laundry room that's big enough and you think you can kind of create a workspace there, do it. You know, it doesn't have to be glamorous, you know. You just have to have a space that works, that's big enough, that you're comfortable in, and you can really build it up to make it something that's comfortable for you to work in. If you have a bedroom, and if it's like a big enough bedroom and you have like a little space like in the corner by the window, you can create up a little desk there and work there. I wrote a lot of my stories when I was younger in my bedroom. So that's fine. Now, even then, it still might be the case that you really don't have any extra room. I know, for example, that I'm really blessed and fortunate to have like this big space just for myself to write in. Not everyone has that kind of space in their home to work with at all. There's other things you can do to create a workspace for yourself. You can start to look out to your community and find a workspace there. You can go to the public library. That's a space that's really built for people to get work done. It's supposed to be a quiet, distraction-free environment. So you can start there. I'm pretty sure it's free to get like a library card. Look into that, see if you like it. You can also sit in a coffee shop. I've done that before. That one, you may have to buy like a cup of coffee, but let's be real, if you're in a coffee shop, you're probably gonna wanna buy a cup of coffee anyway. Sit down, maybe find a seat near the window and get to work. Usually coffee shops are fairly quiet. It depends on where you are. So that might be a good environment for you as well. Another thing you can do is use like the bus or the train or the metro or whatever, and use that as your creative workspace. Let's say you already ride the bus to work. If you're like a student and you're pretty young, this option is probably free to you. I know when I was in high school, obviously the bus was free, and when I was in college, I was able to get a free pass, a free bus pass. And so yeah, if you're already riding the bus to school or to work or whatever, that is great space and time for you to get your work done. You can just put some headphones in, sit on the bus, just focus on whatever you're working on. And I know a lot of these options may not be great for everyone. You just have to find what works best for you and what makes the most sense for you. Like, try out some of these spaces and just see what environment you work best in. So now we're going to talk about a few benefits to having your own creative workspace. And the first one I want to mention is having your own creative workspace can really help minimize distractions. If you have like your own room, your own office, or just a space where you can have a door that you can shut and like keep people out, like that is perfect, because that will really help you minimize distractions and really keep you focused on your work. You won't have to deal with people trying to like talk to you or get you to do something. That allows other people to know when you're busy. And it also keeps you away from TV, your family, your siblings, your roommates, whatever. It just keeps them at bay. It keeps all those distractions on the outside of that door. And when you're in your office, you're completely 100% focused on your work. So that's like the idea of having the creative workspace, is that it can really keep you from being distracted. The second way that I think it can really help you is that it really helps you set a good routine and helps you set good habits for yourself. For example, having a creative workspace that you go to every single day at like a specific time, and you sit there and you work and you do the same thing there every single day, like you're going to get in a routine and it's going to become a habit. And soon your mind is just going to associate that place, your creative workspace, as a place for you to be creative and come up with ideas. So that's the idea that you want to go for. And again, I'm going to bring this book up just because he brings up a lot of good tips in this book. But basically what he talks about in this book is he kind of compares the creative workspace to the bedroom. Because like when you're in your bedroom, you associate that with sleep. Your mind and your body associate that with sleep. So when you go in there and you lay down roughly around the same time every night, if you have a good sleep schedule, your mind is automatically going to start getting you like ready to drift off into unconsciousness. Like that's what the bedroom is for. And so it's the same type of idea with the creative workspace. You want to get your mind in a place where you know, like, okay, when I go into this creative workspace and I sit down, like this is the time for me to be creative and to have ideas come and to work through things. Like that's what this is for. So it really helps you get a routine. It helps ideas start coming to you easier. And it also creates a good habit. Just like you have bad habits, you can create good habits. So that's another thing where it's really helpful, is you can create a routine for yourself, create some healthy habits, and get your mind in a place where you're routinely coming up with ideas on a set schedule. And that'll help you obviously be able to get your work done faster, like on an actual schedule, on a time limit. And then the third way that it can help is it can really help you take your career more seriously. When you have a creative workspace, it'll really help you start to see your passions as a career. Like it really helps you take them more seriously. And maybe that's not the case with everyone, but that's definitely the case for me. Once I had this office dedicated solely to my writing, suddenly it became more real, and I really saw myself as a writer because I gave myself the space to create. And it also sets that tone for other people as well, like, okay, she's serious about this. It can really help you start to see your work as more of a profession, and with that comes confidence, and with confidence your work will start to get better. So you see, it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Those are just a few examples on how having your own creative workspace can really benefit you. It can really benefit the quality of your work, your confidence when it comes to your work, your schedule and routine. It can really help you get your work finished on a set schedule. It can help you follow deadlines better. So these are all reasons why having a creative workspace is really important. So you should really start to like look around at your house or in your community and see where you can maybe try to build a creative workspace for yourself, so you can start working on these things. Okay, so now we're into the office tour portion of this video. I'm going to try to make this part of the video very short because I feel like the first half was way too long. But yeah, basically I'm just going to show you around the office and just kind of explain some of my choices in terms of decorating and things like that. And hopefully it can give you some ideas on how to decorate your own space. Okay, so walking in, this is what it looks like. This is where a lot of my writing happens. I wanted to put my desk right by these big windows. It kind of just helps me get into a really creative space, looking out the windows at the pretty leaves, or like when the weather changes. It just gives me a lot of ideas, and I just like looking out the window while I'm writing instead of like staring at a blank wall or whatever. So I really like these windows, the pretty leaves on the outside. It's nice to look at. As far as the desk, I have some books over here. This is a notebook that I basically use for work now. I keep all my work notes in here. This is a book that I'm almost done reading. I would definitely recommend anyone who's a writer to read this book, by the way. It's the Poets and Writers Guide to being a writer. And Poets and Writers, they actually make a magazine. The magazine comes out monthly, I believe. And yeah, it just has a lot of really helpful information and tips and stuff. So definitely check that out. This is another, I won't say how to, but it's like another guidebook for like screenwriting. And I also have some screenwriting notes here from when I took a screenwriting class a long time ago. I'm writing a screenplay right now, which is why I have this out. So I just keep a couple of relevant stuff next to my desk in case I want to like turn over and look at it while I'm working. But yes, over here, that's my monitor. I love having two screens because I can keep like notes up of my writing on the monitor and then have my like actual writing here on my laptop. That's the chair. I got it from Amazon. I really like it. It's very comfortable. It was very cheap. This is a massage chair. I always leave this in the office chair. I like to sit in the massage chair while I'm working because I have like shoulder issues. If you feel uncomfortable like sitting in an upright position for a long time, you can get something like this or a neck pillow or just something to make you more comfortable while you're working. Pro tip. And this was a gift, so I'm not sure. I think it was from Brookstone. So look into it. It's very comfortable. Over here on this side of the wall is I call it my inspiration wall. So over here, basically what I have is my vision board and a whiteboard where I keep like to-dos, daily to-dos. And then I have a little piece of paper here that I try to print out one of these once a year just with like yearly goals. I like that being right here just because while I'm working, I can look over to the side and it's just like a nice reminder. It really keeps me grounded and just reminds me like what I'm working so hard for and like why I can't give up. So that's why that's right there. Again, yearly goals, and this is like the daily goals. Nothing there right now. There should be, but yeah, I just write down what I have to do that day to get me to here, to get me to here. So that's the inspiration wall. Now I'm gonna move over to this side of the room. So this is basically all my writing. It doesn't look very pretty. I'm gonna get some like bins or like storage bins or baskets to put in here so this looks better. But basically this is just my writing. So basically I used to handwrite all of my stories when I was a kid. I just didn't like technology, so I just handwrote everything. I worked better that way, and then I would kind of type it out later. So I have a lot of stories that were handwritten from the age of like 6 through I would say like 16. And also like I typed some stuff out and printed it out. So that's basically what all that stuff is. I would definitely recommend keeping a hard copy of your writing just because you never know with technology if you'll lose the copy of whatever it is you're working on. It's also nice to keep like cute little mementos from like when you were younger, and you can kind of compare how much you've grown since then. So that's what that is. That's a whole bunch of personal stuff there on my shelf, pictures and stuff that was given to me by other people. These are just some pictures up on the wall. That is my favorite poem of all time by Maya Angelou's Still I Rise. I'm very basic, I know, but I just love the poem because it just reminds you to get up and keep fighting and being resilient. So it makes me feel strong. That's why I like it. And I have a quote from one of my favorite authors, Miss Sadie Smith. And this is my bookcase. I got this bookcase from IKEA. I put little twinkly lights in the bookcase just because, I don't know, I thought it was cute and it kind of gives it like a daydreamy feel, which I like because, you know, when you're reading stories, it's like, you know, it's just like you're going into another world. So that's why I kind of put the twinkly lights there. I thought it was a nice touch and I just like twinkly lights. Okay, I should probably grow up, but it's fine. I think it's cute. And this is the reading chair. This was the last piece to go into the room. I love this thing with all my life. I got it from Ashley Furniture. It wasn't cheap. Got this chair for reading, but really I just sit in here whenever I'm tired of sitting at the desk, and I'll read, I'll write, I'll even do work here since I'm working from home. So this is the chair. I got a nice little purple blanket. Lavender is my favorite color, so that's why I added that touch to the room. And this is the footstool. I got it from Amazon, and I would really suggest getting it from Amazon if you're looking for one. This one's nice because it also doubles as like a storage bin for office supplies. So yeah, but that's basically my space. Okay, so that's the end of the office tour. I really hope you enjoyed it. It's nothing special, but hopefully it gave you some ideas on how to go about setting up your own creative workspace. Feel free to talk below in the comments. Maybe share some ideas on where you're thinking about setting up your creative workspace. I would love to hear about where you're all planning to work on your writing or your paintings or whatever other creative projects you have going on. As always, this video is attached to a blog post on my website, and I'll leave a link down in the description so you can go over there and check it out and just read more in depth on this topic. There's also other blog posts on my website that you might be interested in, so you can go and scroll through the blog and see if you find something interesting. Thank you so much for watching today, and I'll see you next time.